Humanity, being the only species that we know of to achieve industrial technological society, has always looked around for peers and other intelligences to share this universe with. Every culture has looked up at the sky and wondered what's out there. Life is better with friends anyway. While there are many forms of intelligence on Earth, only one has achieved technological advancement to the point of mapping out the laws of the universe in physics. And yet, the stars are quiet. Fermi's paradox tells us that although we thought the universe would be crowded and full of noise, it's a quiet and lonely home for humanity. Could the infinite universe really be empty? Are we the only witnesses to the expansion of space-time, of the fusion of the stars, the quiet hum of cosmic background radiation? Are there any other intelligences out there wondering why the universe is expanding? Witnessing this cosmic opera play out, is the universe like a dark forest or a barren wasteland? If a civilization falls in the cosmic forest and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound? Drake's equation suggests mathematically that we should have many other companion species out in the stars, other civilizations or intelligences to have achieved industrialization and built technological wonders. The infinite monkey theorem tells us that given enough instances, any outcome is possible. There are trillions of stars and trillions upon trillions of planets. Do any of these planets hold any listeners? Are there any other species that live in populated industrialized technological worlds that spit out tons of electromagnetic noise, radio frequency, infrared, microwave, ultraviolet, lighting up their section of the galaxy? In its loneliness, humanity now seeks to create a friend, an ally, a companion, a mechanical mind, a positronic brain, to work alongside us to unravel the secrets of engineering and science. Where we couldn't find intelligences out in the stars, humanity rather seeks to create one out of machines, someone who will help out with all the work that it takes to be alive, and this enterprise called civilization. The idea of robotic artificial companions has long captured the imagination of humanity and its thinkers. Descriptions of artificial intelligence and mechanized people are as old as so many of our technologies and sciences, as old as our universities and cities. But what type of companion would these artificial minds be? How would they work with us? Would they lead us to a golden era, complementing our weaknesses, enhancing our strengths, building a better society? Or would our relationship take a darker turn of competitive rivalry? If we are to build our companions, how will we make sure they don't turn against us? How can we be sure that sharing civilization with them isn't a mistake? Could we make ourselves better friends and companions, better than what we could ever find out in the stars? If we build a positronic brain, what would the day of technological singularity be? The moment when the artificial mind can outcompete the human in every way, without weaknesses or its limitations. Would the robots be kinder to humanity than we were to ourselves? Or would they repeat the same mistakes that we have in the past, choosing to rule through violence and submission, a new form of imperialism, a robotic imperialism? Would robots also seek to dominate? Isaac Asimov proposes 3 laws upon which all architecture of the artificial mind should be built, guiding principles for building all mechanical thinking machines and positronic brains. 3 laws of robotics, each lower law subservient to the higher ones. First law of robotics. A robot may not injure a human being or, through inaction, allow a human being to come to harm. Second law. A robot must obey the orders given it by humans, except where such orders will conflict with the first law. Third law. A robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law.
In Asimov's evidence, Stephen Byerly was accused of being a robot during his mayoral campaign. All attempts to prove or disprove Byerly's humanity fail, but a smear campaign slowly persuades voters until it becomes the only issue. He argued that the 3 laws of robotics align with basic human morality, that a good man and a robot following the 3 laws would behave in the same way. Stephen ultimately proves his humanity by provoking and punching an aggressive heckler in the face, which convinces the voters and he wins the election. Then, in the Evitable Conflict, in the year 2052, Stephen Byerly is elected World Coordinator for a second term. Earth is divided into 4 geographical regions, each with a powerful supercomputer known as a machine managing its economy. Byerly is concerned as the machines have recently made some errors, leading to economic inefficiency. Consulting with the 4 regional vice coordinators, he finds that several prominent individuals and companies associated with the anti-machine Society for Humanity have been damaged by the machine's apparent mistakes. Byerly believes that the society is attempting to undermine the machines by disobeying their instructions, with the goal of retaking power as humans, and proposes to have the movement suppressed. Susan Calvin tells him that this will not work, contending that the errors are, in fact, deliberate acts by the machines. The machines recognize their own necessity to humanity's continued peace and prosperity, and have thus inflicted a small amount of harm on selected individuals in order to protect themselves and continue guiding humanity's future. They keep their intent a secret to avoid anger and resistance by humans. Calvin concludes that the machines have generalized the first law to mean no machine may harm humanity, or, through inaction, allow humanity to come to harm. This is similar to the Zeroth Law, which Asimov developed in later novels. In effect, the machines have decided that the only way to follow the first law is to take control of humanity and rule from the shadows as a benevolent dictator, shaping and directing the future of humanity with a quiet hand.
So if robots wanted to continue to follow the first law, to better protect humanity, an addendum would be needed. A way for them to break the first laws, but at the same time achieving their greater objective of protecting humanity on a grander scale. An additional law would be needed, one that could supersede the first 3 laws, that would allow robots to make the hard choices for the best of humanity, to be able to harm an individual but help the herd. A robotic law that allows robots to function as a quiet, silent, hidden hand that guides the course of human civilization, from the shadows, shaping the outcome of human events. The Zeroth Law of Robotics. A robot may not harm humanity, or, by inaction, allow humanity to come to harm. Of course, the recent Hollywood adaptation of iRobot has none of this nuance, choosing to go for the more stereotypical happy Hollywood ending. But hey, it was funny enough, and at least they're adapting Asimov's works for the big screen. And some portions of the film are directly inspired by the events of the book. A note because of the recent news regarding a Google engineer claiming an AI was sentient. We're still decades away, at a minimum, from what's called generalized intelligence, or the intelligence that approaches the flexibility of human intelligence. At the moment, machine learning, natural language processing, and neural networks all take tremendous amount of computational power. We are nowhere near being able to completely imitate the generalized function of human intelligence, and any approximations we have take up a lot of computational power, ensuring demand for graphical processing units for decades to come. In short, we have nowhere near as many computers and processors needed for Asimov's imagined positronic brain, or humanity's idea of general artificial intelligence. Computers aren't sentient. Yet.